Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Let's begin. While technology has rapidly transformed nearly every aspect of our lives, the acceptance and integration of online education in higher education have taken time to mature. Over the last 2 decades, however, we have seen incredible progress. So digital learning is no longer just an option, it's like a critical part of how institutions operate and a cornerstone of modern education. So this shift has brought with it the need for comprehensive quality frameworks, which are these systems that define, evaluate, and enhance the learning experiences we provide. And for universities, ensuring quality is about more than ticking boxes. It's about creating engaging, inclusive, and effective environments for a diverse students' body while maintaining institutional excellence. In today's session, we will explore the strategic role of evaluation in ensuring quality in digital education. We will break this down into the essential building blocks like course design, curriculum alignment, teaching methods, and institutional factors. And we will also touch on vital aspects like accessibility, learning effectiveness, and student and instructor satisfaction. And why does this matter? Because these elements don't just improve individual courses, they elevate entire institutions, aligning them with benchmarks and enhancing their global reputation. So we have structured the presentation to cover the objectives of clarifying what quality means in online learning, addressing the challenges of quality assurance in this digital age, and how we can create systems that evolve with technology, highlighting the role of quality driven culture, emphasizing continuous improvement and stakeholder collaboration, and also quality models as essential tools to evaluate and improve online education. And then my colleague, Professor Marcelo Maina, will guide us through the worldwide frameworks and standards for quality learning assessment and practical takeaways that you can adapt to your own institutions. So together, sections will provide a foundations to better understand how we can assess and enhance the quality of online learning effectively. So let's dive in. Before we dive into the details, I would like to take a moment to reflect on why quality matters so deeply in online education. When we talk about online learning, we are not just talking about a new format for delivering content. We are talking about a transformation shift, one that has a potential to open doors to learners everywhere, breaking down barriers of barriers of time, of geography, of access. But with these opportunities comes a responsibility as well. That is to ensure that online education is not only accessible, but also of the highest quality. So quality in online learning isn't just a box to check. It's the backbone of creating meaningful, effective, and impactful educational experiences. So it's about meeting students where they are while ensuring that they have the tools, the support, and inspiration they need to succeed. In this first section, I will explore what quality means in the context of online courses, and we will look at these key dimensions, why it's crucial, and how it sets the stage for the rest of our conversation today. So let's begin. Over the past 20 years, as I was saying, one thing that has become undeniable clear is the rapid advancement of information and communication technologies that has transformed education. These technologies have opened up exciting new possibilities of teaching and learning. We can now connect with the students across the globe. We can personalize learning experience and leverage tools that were unimaginable just a few decades ago. But with these opportunities come significant challenges as well. And one of the most pressing is defining and applying quality assurance systems that keep pace with this transformation. So establishing these systems isn't just a technical task. It's like a process of negotiation. It involves aligning diverse values tied to a culture of quality and defining instruments and metrics that works across different contexts and levels of analysis. So it's slow, it's complex, but it's also essential if we want to ensure that digital learning reaches its full potential. The rapid adaptation of quality of online and hybrid learning in higher education has highlighted something fundamental, which is that we all know that quality matters. When institutions transition to online formats during the COVID-19 pandemic, they quickly realized that simply moving content online isn't enough. So students need more than access to materials, and they need meaningful experiences or meaningful learning experiences that engage them actively and support their success. And this shift has prompted many universities to reevaluate their approaches to quality assurance. They ask themselves, how can we ensure that online and hybrid courses not only meet but exceed the rigorous educational standards we expect in traditional formats? So as we were saying before, quality assurance in digital learning isn't just about meeting expectation. It's about fostering engagement, supporting students' academic journeys, and ensuring that the learning experience remains transformative and regardless of the format. So in the next section, we will explore how institutions are meeting these challenges and creating robust frameworks to maintain excellence in digital learning. The adoption of open, flexible, and distal learning, often referred to as OFDL, has grown substantially on a global scale. This trend is both exciting and challenging, as I was saying. So the ICDE's 2023 report offered a comprehensive look at the current state of quality. It identifies key trends, challenges, and opportunities, providing like a roadmap for institutions aiming to enhance quality in their offerings. One of the report's most notable findings is the variability in the maturity of quality assurance practices worldwide. While some regions progress quickly, others struggle to create frameworks suited to the specific educational needs. So this highlights the urgent need for localized quality standards that reflect specific institutional and regional realities. So this report also sheds light on good practices that can inspire us all. For example, it talks about collaborative learning environments that foster peer support and community engagement. This can create a sense of belonging and can motivate learners to stay active, involved. It talks also about the strategic use of technology, such as learning management systems and interactive platforms to sustain learning interest and to ensure meaningful participation and collaboration of students. It also talks, for example, about continuous improvement models driven by regular feedback, both from students and stakeholders. So these models enable institutions to refine their approaches and adapt to emerging needs. So as OFDL methods become an integral part of higher education, robust quality assurance frameworks are not just desirable, but are essential. By adopting these kind of practices that I was mentioning and that you can find in the slide, it's true that institutions can ensure that their programs not only meet but exceed the expectations of learners and the broader educational community. So which is the future of this kind of education? Looking ahead, there are several key directions for improving the quality of open, flexible, and distance learning. As we move forward, some authors emphasize the importance of strengthening partnerships between educational institutions, governments, and industry stakeholders. This collaboration, as I was mentioning, is crucial for developing relevant and high-quality educational programs that meet the evolving needs of learners worldwide. We also see a call for innovative approaches to quality assurance. So by incorporating emerging technologies and new pedagogical methods, institutions can enhance the learning experience and ensure that quality is maintained in a rapidly changing educational landscape. Inclusiveness is another core priority, so OFDL must be accessible to all learners, especially those from marginalized groups. So ensuring that education reaches everyone is essential for fostering equal opportunities and promoting social equity in the digital age. Finally, global collaboration is key to creating a more interconnected educational environment. By sharing best practices, by sharing resources across borders, we can create a stronger, more unified approach to OFDL that benefits learners, educators, and institutions alike. So these directions are not just aspirational, but they are essential steps to creating this future where quality of open, flexible, and distance learning is not only accessible, but also of the highest quality. So it is time to realize that the future of education is in our hands, and the collaboration is the key to making it work for everyone. So how can institutions enhance the effectiveness of digital learning initiatives? So as we have said, as higher education continues to evolve, ensuring the quality of hybrid and online learning is becoming more important than ever. This commitment will play a critical role in shaping a resilient, inclusive educational landscape, one where all learners have access to meaningful and engagement experiences, regardless of their background or regardless of their location. So how is your institution addressing the increasing digitalization of education? To enhance the effectiveness of digital learning initiatives, it's true that institutions must develop contextualized quality standards and procedures that take into account the unique challenges and opportunities in the specific context. This should address issues such as limitations in infrastructure and outdated regulation that slow down progress or that can slow down the progress. Also, the cultural relevance and the disparities in inequity and access that can create these barriers to effective learning for some students. Also, the stakeholder engagement, and the continuous improvements mechanism to ensure that feedback is incorporated and initiative remain responsive to the needs of students and educators, and adequate training and support for educators to help them navigate and effectively use the digital tools at their disposal. So by tracking these 4 key areas, institutions can enhance the effectiveness of their digital learning initiatives and can ensure that they are not only meeting current needs, but also adapting to the future challenges. So in the rapidly evolving world of online and hybrid learning, ensuring high quality educational experiences for students requires a robust framework that encompasses both quality assurance and enhancement. So as we move into the second section of our discussion, it's essential to understand this distinction between quality assurance and quality enhancement in the context of digital learning. So let's explore these concepts in more detail, and let's see how they can be applied into the digital learning environment. Quality assurance and quality enhancement are 2 fundamental concepts in higher education that serve distinct yet complementary roles. The first one, QA, focuses on accountability and compliance with established standards. It is about ensuring that institutions meet specific criteria through systematic evaluations and external audits. So this process is not only provides stakeholders, so students, faculty, external partners, with confidence in the educational quality, but also ensures that institutions are constantly meeting the required standards. And then, on the other hand, we have the quality enhancement. So it's oriented towards this continuous improvement. So it fosters a culture of innovation within educational practices, and it encourages institutions to go beyond mere compliance with the standards. So this one focuses on enhancing the learning experience and improves student outcomes. It's more about making positive changes to educational offerings, and it's more about creating an environment that drives development and growth and ensures that quality goes beyond the minimum requirements and adapt to evolving needs and challenges. So while QA ensures that standards are met, we could say that the QE, the quality enhancement, is more about proactively enhancing those standards, making the educational experience more dynamic, effective for all students. So both QA and QE are essential for supporting the design of quality courses and programs. But it's true that quality assurance ensures, as we were saying, that from the foundational standards, that these ones are upheld, and that we have a provision of framework within which educational offerings can be developed. As I said before, it focuses on compliance and maintaining standards, and it helps institutions maintain consistency and meet external expectations. So involves external audits and systematic evaluations, offering this structured approach to confirm that these standards are being met. And on the other hand, quality enhancement focuses on growth and adaptability. No? It drives innovation and ongoing improvement, and it encourages also educators to continuously refine their programs. And it's based on feedback and emerging best practices. So we could say that it enriches the overall experience, the overall learning experiences, ensuring that educational offering evolve in response to the needs of students and the wider educational context. So together, these concepts create a robust environment for teaching and learning, where quality, as I was saying, it's not just maintained, but it's continuously improved. So to ensure a dynamic environment and where quality is both maintained and improved, both quality assurance and quality enhancement play essential roles. If we take into account that quality assurance acts as a safeguard, providing this structured framework that verifies educational offerings, quality enhancement encourages a refinement and adaptation of educational practices, promoting this improvement in teaching, learning, in making sure that education evolves to meet the need both of the students and the educational global standards. And this approach to QE aligns with the primary goal of enhancing the quality of course design, teaching, and learning, situated at the micro level of quality processes. In contrast, the macro and meso levels of quality that we explored weeks ago when we were in the section 1.4 focus more on assurance and accreditation of programs and institutions. So these different levels make sure that general standards meet while allowing universities to adapt and improve based on their own needs. In this context, we can differentiate between the micro, meso, and macro levels of quality assurance and enhancement. The micro level focuses directly on the design, teaching, and learning processes of individual courses and programs. And this level is where quality enhancement takes place, with this emphasis of refining, improving the educational experience through feedback, the course design, the assessment strategies. And at the meso and macro level, the focus shifts to the program and institutional levels, ensuring that broader quality assurance frameworks are in place. So these levels are concerned with accreditation, compliance, and meeting larger standards. So while they provide the structure and the accountability for quality, the micro level offers more flexibility, and it allows a more focalized improvements that can better serve the specific needs for students in your institution. So in this section today, we will focus on the micro level, which, as we have been saying, concerns this design of teaching and learning processes within individual courses or individual programs. So this level is crucial for ensuring that your student experiences and learning outcomes are continually enhanced through the quality enhancement practices such as curriculum refinement and feedback integration. So as we move into the topic of quality models in online learning, I would like to reflect on a few key questions that are critical to understanding this area. The first one will be, what are the key elements that define quality in online education? The second one, it could be, how is quality effectively evaluated in the context of online education? And the third one could be, how can we foster innovation while at the same time we can maintain high standards of educational quality? These questions, I think, that are fundamental as we dive into these models that have shaped the way we approach quality in online learning. So in this section, we will explore widely recognized quality models and frameworks that help us address these challenges. And these models, you can see that help institutions improve their online learning while making sure that new ideas in digital education still meet high academic standards. So let's start by exploring some key models and tools that help ensure the quality of online programs and courses. Among the most well-known are the Kirkpatrick model and the OLC quality framework. These models, along with other important tools, offer like a comprehensive approach to evaluating and enhancing the quality of online learning, as I was saying. First, the Kirkpatrick model, which evaluates programs through 4 levels: reaction, learning, behavior, and results. These models, we can say that help us look beyond immediate learning satisfaction, and it assesses also the long-term impact of educational intervention. So it's a foundational approach that can be integrated with other frameworks, strengthening the overall quality assurance process. So by focusing not only on student reactions, but also on their learning and the lasting effects of the education they receive, it ensures that quality is measured from multiple angles. Complementing this, we have the OLC quality framework that provides a specific focus on high quality online learning. So it addresses essential components such as core design, learning engagement, and assessment strategies. When applied together, the OLC framework and the Kirkpatrick model offer a robust toolkit for education to assess both the design and also the effectiveness of the online courses. And this integration allows for a holistic understanding of online education, ensuring that courses meet high standards and deliver meaningful outcomes for students. And additional to these models, we have other frameworks like Quality Matters, the Commonwealth of Learning Quality Assurance Toolkit, and the Add to Excellence Kit that also plays like a key role in promoting quality in online education. So these tools provide specific criteria and guidelines that support institutions in evaluating their educational offerings. By incorporating the Kirkpatrick model, institutions can enhance the impact of these other frameworks, ensuring that their online learning initiatives meet rigorous standards while driving continuous improvement. So together, we can say that these models that you have in this slide and these tools create an interconnected approach to quality assurance, fostering this culture of ongoing enhancement in education. And ultimately, we have to know that this benefits both learners and educators, ensuring that the learning experience is not only effective, but also continuously improving. As we move forward, I would like to focus on the key criteria for assessing online learning quality. This criteria helps institutions evaluate and ensure that their online learning experiences meet the highest standards. So here are some essential factors that I would like to share. First of all, the student and teacher satisfaction. This refers to how students and instructors perceive the content. It should be engaging, it should be beneficial, and directly aligned with the course objectives, as we were saying yesterday. And feedback from students, often measured through student evaluation of teaching, helps assess how well these contents meets their needs and expectations. So teacher satisfaction is also important, so it's less commonly evaluated in universities. Also, we have the learning effectiveness. This criterion measures how well the course enables participants to acquire the intended knowledge and skills. So the challenge here lies in assessing the impact of the learning process. While there has been extensive research in this area, it's true that, particularly related to the use of technologies, no unifying theory has been established due to the complexity of learning processes. So here it's helpful the reference that gives the author gives 2010, which addresses teaching quality in relation to learning effectiveness. The third criteria is applicability of learning, which is crucial because it says that learners, it ensures that learners are able to apply what they have learned in real world situations. So this ability to transfer knowledge into practical use is central to lifelong learning. For example, here we can talk about case-based, problem-based, and project-based learning methods that help students develop the skills necessary for solving complex real-life problems, often under conditions similar to those in corporate settings, as I was saying yesterday when I was talking about the education, the competence-based education. Then the number 4 is the return on investment. While this is often assessed in terms of the overall goals achieved relative to the resources invested, such as training, support, and course materials, it's important to understand that the true value of an online learning program goes beyond just financial considerations. And finally, we have accessibility, which is crucial because it's a key aspect that ensures all users, regardless of their background, abilities, or available technology, can fully engage with the course content. So adhering to accessibility standards ensures that the system is inclusive and usable by everyone. So these criteria from the Foundation for assessing the quality of online environments ensuring they provide meaningful and inclusive learning experience. So by evaluating these factors, we can continually improve our online education offerings, fostering both academic success and real-world applicability for our learners. And as we move forward, we face an essential question in today's educational landscape, which is how can we balance our pursuit of innovation with the need to maintain this high quality education I was talking about. So after exploring various quality standards, it is crucial to reflect on how we can align innovative practices with our ongoing commitment to quality assurance in online learning. And this is particularly relevant as we navigate the complexities of technopedagogical innovation, those emerging technologies, those new teaching methods that continuously reshape how we deliver education to our students. However, as we innovate, it's true that we must ensure that these advancements contribute to, rather than compromise, the quality of the learning experience. So let's consider the key areas to maintain this balance. First of all, what we have to do is take into account the integration of innovation. So the first step is integrating innovation within a strategic framework. This means aligning innovative practice with both international and national quality agendas. So by doing so, we can incorporate new methods into the existing quality assurance we were talking about practices while maintaining educational standards and assuring this consistency. Second of all, the quality assurance measures. So we also need to evaluate the effectiveness of our current QA measures. As new educational technologies emerge, it's crucial that the quality assurance or our quality assurance processes evolve to address these complexities, ensuring that we can assess and maintain the quality of learning across a variety of platforms and variety of tools. Also, we have the stakeholder engagement. No, engaging. We have to take into account that it's important to engage all the stakeholders: educator, students, and even external partners. This is vital. So, gathering feedback from these groups can provide valuable insights into how innovative practices are impacting the learning experience. And this feedback loop helps us refine our approaches and maintain high standards while embracing new methods. Number 4, it will be the adaptation and innovation. As we explore new technologies, we must adapt our quality assurance processes to integrate them effectively. This could involve developing new QA criteria or could involve establishing new approaches that reflect the unique characteristics of modern online learning platforms and tools. And then number 5, we have the professional development. It's equally important to invest in professional development for educators, focusing not only on quality assurance, but also on the implementation of innovative teaching methods. So training educators on how they can blend innovation with quality can foster a culture of continuous improvement. And finally, this continuous reflection, no? Regular reflection on the impact of innovation is essential. Continuously assessing how these new approaches we were talking about are influencing educational quality ensures that our practices will remain relevant and effective in meeting learners' needs. So by prioritizing quality assurance alongside this innovative practice we can take into account, we can create this educational environment that responds to the needs of today's learners, while at the same time we prepare them for the challenges of the future. Reflecting on these strategies help us ensure that as we innovate, we uphold the high standards of quality that are essential to our students' success. And now let's turn our focus to a crucial topic, which is the global frameworks and standards for online learning quality. These frameworks play a vital role in shaping how institutions ensure excellence in digital education. And so my colleague Marcelo Maina will guide us through the most widely recognized models and standards worldwide, highlighting how they support quality assurance and innovation in online learning. So let's welcome Marcelo to share their insights.
Thank you very much, Maite. Hello again. We've seen each other a few minutes ago in the other presentation. I will introduce more in detail what are these frameworks and how can be useful for us. Let me first start saying that we will focus this presentation, and we will approach this presentation from more the teacher's perspective, where the concerns is put on the enhancement of teaching quality. And when we say teaching quality, that includes the design process of our courses and the delivery of these courses and how we facilitate these courses. So this is the approach we will do. Not all framework that we'll mention here were developed with this idea in mind. There are some of them more focused on in accreditation processes, more quality assurance and quality enhancement. We want to take the best from these frameworks to adapt them to our own needs. Although some of them were thought in terms of course enhancement, the idea of quality is not something that comes at the end as something that must refer to how well we did and how compliant to the standards we are, but more of that how our concern now shifts to our students' learning outcomes, experience satisfaction. So these international frameworks provide a foundation for ensuring quality in online and hybrid education. Some of them were started with a focus on face-to-face one, with the concern of improving pedagogy within courses. For example, quality matters. One of the first concerns was about, for example, how to make more engaging face-to-face classes, or even another one that we'll mention about is Law and C that now transform into OLC framework, both in America, and then they move very fast into more digital integration. So we will see and explore how these frameworks inform quality course design at the moment of starting a design of my course, and having them as a reference to cross-check what we are doing and guide us in taking the right decisions. How will support us in the evaluation of our educational practices when we will do it. We'll explore that also. And also they guide institutions in aligning with global standards and established policies, and promote credibility and trust of online and hybrid learning. That sometimes is questions, still is questions, although we know we can provide very good quality online and hybrid learning, guaranteeing skills developments and knowledge development of our students. So the focus of quality is also built on credibility. So as teachers, well, if we use these tools, frameworks as tools to inform our design practice and our teaching practice, we are at the same time collaborating with this idea of approaching ourselves with a global standard that are usually research-based and promote credibility of our institution, our courses, and our programs, in the same economical action of applying this to our course design and teaching. So to name the most known, as was already advanced my colleague Maite, we will explore the ENCA European Standard Guidelines. That is a comprehensive quality assurance approach for higher education in Europe. The EDTU, that is European Association of Distance Teaching Universities initiative of Excellent Kid, that provides more benchmark for online and blended programs. They've been revising, all these frameworks are revised periodically and updated, just to take into account that, to take the last version that comes with the last evidence on research regarding digital and open learning. We will explore also the quality matter that is focused on course design and learning engagement, the OLC quality framework that is based on 5 pillars of evaluating learning, and the Commonwealth of Learning Toolkit that is also a resource for open and distance learning, very valuable. They are not frameworks that work as a standalone approach. You can mix them and combine them and adapt it to your actual needs and preferences and vision and mission of your institution and ideas about your own programs. So it's not that you have to adhere to one of them. You can explore them and decide if one of them fits all your requirements, or you can use other ones. But we will present briefly them, focusing, as I mentioned, because they have the aim is much broader in some of them, so we'll focus more on the enhancement, quality enhancement of digital education. And let's start with the guidelines of standards and guidelines for quality assurance of the HEA. That the first one that we were mentioning, that focus on 3 main aspect, that is internal quality assurance that relates to processes within higher education institution, external quality assurance when we involve external bodies for evaluating processes. That is also a very common practice in good quality of assurance and evaluation, and also focus on some quality agencies that conduct external quality assurance, that we are always committed to them, and in fact they are the final ones that approve our programs officially. Let me just mention here the focus on internal quality assurance and some internal standards. As you see, there are 10 internal standards. Here you have the link of to the document, and I want to focus your attention on these 3 to 6 standards, because they're more related to actually what we are focusing today in teaching and learning. They have one standard regarding student-centered learning, teaching and assessment that promotes active learning and engagement, assessment methods that align with learning outcome, and so on. We have another one regarding student admission, progression, recognition, and certification. Think about, or we talked about digital trends before, and micro-credential, for example. In teaching staff, quality and competent teaching staff, and professional development plan that the institution should develop for that. As you see, is going from course to teacher development, and learning resources and student support. That resources should be accessible to all students and support their learning and development. Is that all the documents I will present here are big ones with very detailed information regarding standards and education. I just here present like a snapshot of one of them just to help you make an idea of how do they look like and how they can be useful for you. Here, for example, I focus in the internal quality assurance, standard 1.3, student-centered learning, teaching and assessment. It's an excerpt, it's not the whole text that it appears there. And here you see there's a definition of the standards and there are guidelines for that. So there are clear indications on how to use them into the design of our courses, facilitation of our courses. The standards are defined in a clear way, and the guidelines also. Just explore this one standard. Institutions should ensure that the programs are delivered in a way that encourages the students to take an active role in creating the learning process, and that the assessment of a student reflects this approach. We are applying principles of constructed alignment. We've been explaining this morning, yesterday. So guideline for this student-centered learning and teaching plays an important role. The implementation of a student-centered learning and teaching respects and attends to diversity of a student and their needs, considers and uses different modes of delivery, often flexible uses of and variety of pedagogical methods. We saw yesterday some active pedagogy and pedagogical methods that can be implemented. I won't go in every detail of each one of them, but sorry, there's a call. And then I will move to the next part, that is the OLC quality framework. That is about, this is an American base. Sorry, I'm being interrupted. This other framework, all online learning consortium framework, is also it's an American-based association that's been working on that for a long period. It establishes 5 dimensions of quality online education, like the building blocks and the pillars where it builds everything. That is learning effectiveness, ensuring online students receive a high quality education, focusing on course design, resources, pedagogy, and outcomes. As you see, this is more focused on course and program, more than institutional level. They have instructional experience, another focus that ensures rewarding online teaching experiences. This is something that comes all the time, how we recognize our teaching, how we can motivate them. Focus to embark in these approaches, focusing on support, reward and training, student experience, and ensure positive learning experiences, focusing on belonging, this community that becomes a community when interacting online, the support services we provide and career alignment. The scale maintains rigorous education for many learnings, looking for cost effectiveness. I was mentioning before also about the ROI approach, leadership and scalability. And access that provides Fertiscore access to all students, focusing on academic and technical support to guarantee that everyone succeeds in this. The OLC quality framework developed a set of scorecards, understand them as rubrics for evaluation and benchmark, and they are quite comprehensive and easy to implement, and they establish categories and indicators. Here you have a list on the left of different scorecards at the program level and at the course level. As you see, for example, about online programs and blended learning programs or online data specific to that topic, I want to show here and illustrate more one about teaching and instructional practice scorecard that is at the course level, where they have, you see here categories like course design, that they have points associated with that, so you can more or less assess and evaluate your designs, accessibility and compliance with universal design principles, the idea of course learning outcomes that are aligned with program institutional goals, and so on. Of course, content, assignments, instructors, and class discussion. So when you think about the design of your course, you have to take into account all these elements that are very well described there. Well, there's I cannot illustrate everything because they are protected by copyright, but I want to tell you that if you go to their website, you can link on every scorecard. And if you identify yourself, providing information of who you are, they let you download them. But there's one that I can show you now, just to give you an idea how they work, these rubrics. Here is the course design review scorecard. That is a course level rubric for reviewing and improving instructional design and accessibility of online courses that has these categories: course overview, course technology, design and layout, content and activities, interaction, assessment, and feedback. And each one of these dimension is a category, sorry, is described in very detail. And as you see here, just to mention, course includes welcome and getting started content. So it's a clear guide of how should I develop an online course, for example, the good quality. Am I including this information in the course? Moving forward, I will present another one that is more European-based, that is the excellent level, as I would say, the IATU initiative of Open European Association of Universities, where the purposes are, for example, in this excellent approach, the assessment and improvement, the benchmarking of our courses, and the quality assurance. All these purposes are merged more or less together. I will focus now on their manual, that is manual and tool, that is also available online and is freely available. This manual, for example, presents these dimensions about strategic management, curriculum design, focusing on flexibilities in aspects such as time and pace, place, blended learning, modularity, credit transfer. As you see, I cannot forget anything. As there are so many, this helps us like checklist to see what we are doing, either as an input to our course design or as a way of auditing our design after I have finished it. It also includes course delivery, staff support, and student support. The manual, and just to illustrate, is a big book, but it's presented in all the categories I was mentioning before, and this is an example of 4.2, that is virtual learning environment. That has sub-items like e-learning material provision, and here you see how they explain and develop the indicators that can be taken into account. The content is presented in a learner-oriented fashion. The virtual learning environment supports rich interactivity. There is a system for security and recording the rights necessary for use of third-party resources in teaching materials. All these indicators I can go through. And there's also a recommendation at an excellence level that says the institution has in place policies for internal reuse of material and is in an active OER, for example, movement. E-excellence is very based on the idea of open education, so this is also their approach. So why is important to have this excellent level and institutional level is to see also if we have, as teachers, when we design these policies in place or the support from our institution, or clear document that help us in taking the right decisions. Quality methods, another very interesting and long tradition framework, is more based on course design. In a nutshell, it presents rubrics and standards for evaluating the quality of online courses and programs. It helps also, they develop as a service professional development workshop, courses, and training programs. This is an initiative that at the same time offered these resources, but also training for everyone. They run also course reviews and certification. They have a thought methodology on how they apply as reviewer of your courses the quality, and can award or not the quality of your courses. And they also create a community around that for discussion and resources. This is not exclusive to Quality Matters. OLC also have it. So just check in this what they are. The course design rubric, for example, I will focus more on that, has these elements: course overview and introduction, learning objective, including the notion of competencies, assessment and measurement, instructional material, learning activities, course technology, learner support, accessibility, and usability. And one of the distinctive characteristics also of quality matter is about the concept of alignment between learning objective, assessment, instructional material, and learning activities and course technology. And they highlight, because each one of these, of course, is decomposed into more in detail with sub-items. And this concept of alignment is suggested also in the rubric. So, for example, course for alignment, check sub item X from concept from learning objectives with sub item Y with assessment and measurement. So very useful tools. There's another one that was mentioned is the Quality Assurance Toolkit for Open and Distance Learning from the Commonwealth of Learning that has two main parts. First part is about 10 factors that covers 94 performance indicators and distributed within these 10. That is leadership and governance, program, courseware, learner admission, learner support. You see, they repeat more or less. That's why it's interesting to check them and see what it fits better to us, or build our own quality framework. That is the best advice I can do for you. That build it and adapt it to your own context. And it has a part B that is on blend and open close-ended items, like questions that help you reflect on what you are actually doing. As an example of the quality assurance toolkit for open and distance learning, here is per A-factor program and course. As the other ones, they have a comprehensive development, rich development of, for example, here, performance criteria that help you think about, for example, program or course design. All the program or course objectives outcome defined, activities and assignments are properly articulated, learning outcomes are well designed and are in conformance with national skill qualification frameworks. This is interesting. You check your own qualification frameworks and so on and so on. There is a sound and rationale justification for offering distance blended learning. Did I take the right decision? Is this the best modality? Come back to the first presentation we did 1 month ago, that we gave you clues on how to think about those aspects. So to answer this question, you can go to the first webinar and probably complete that clearly and see why I justify that this is the best option I can provide for hybrid learning. So as I mentioned before, just right before, what is very, very important is to think these frameworks as tools that must be adapted, okay? So ensure the alignment with local standard and your institutional maturity level, because you probably are in a certain stage and you want to move forward to another stage. So take them as references, good ones. All of them are based on research, so they condense guidelines based on findings coming from research. So that's why they are trustable. Another recommendation about flexibility, about rigid application, use this framework as discussion for continuous improvement. Don't do it alone. You can use them to discuss these criteria, dimensions, even some specific indicators with other colleagues, with other teachers in your program, with the whole faculty in your institution, even with the students. And the other one is select a tool that not only evaluate, but also promote understanding and engagement with quality practices. And as you see, all the ones that we presented today focus on that. There are some others, so just check them and think, do they have into their variables, categories, and indicators information regarding engagement and quality practices? There's another source of information that can be useful when engaging in quality online learning design. And here we think about quality university ranking for online quality application. These university rankings are not specifically talking about quality in itself, but they relate to quality and how these ranking situates our universities in different ways, according to different indicators. The most known and mentioned here, like the World Universities ranking, the academic ranking of World University, the Times Higher Education, the U Multi-Rank, more European-based, or the United States World Report. These are sources that can also inspire as teacher or as an institution to think about which are the standards that we will apply in our institution regarding the purpose of my program and my institution and how we position internationally and which one do we give credit. Let's say that most of the quality rankings emphasize a lot of research metrics, not teaching ones, but there are always some reference to teaching and some are more developed than others. I here wanted to cite, for example, the Time Higher Education and U Multi-Rank that uh, more clearly help us understand they are also measuring um, metrics, taking in consideration teaching. For example, they assess things like feedback mechanisms that emphasize the importance of feedback from a student and academics to take into account into their rankings, the resource allocations for teaching and students, and they highlight that the adequate allocation of resources to support online learning. Do they have an infrastructure? Do they invest in teaching development? Uh, the engagement and interaction, where they ensuring favorable student-staff ratio and offering diverse learning opportunities that enhance student engagement and interaction in online programs, or also about, for example, U Multi-Rank, that having customizable indicators that allow institutions to tailor their assessment to focus on specific aspects. That's very interesting tool that they have, so that you can choose about what is important for me. Like news, that is from last year, in fact, there's a new global online learning ranking in emergence in 2024, very dedicated to online learning, and the initiative is from the Time Higher Education. We will see what happens with that. I just wanted to mention that because many of the rankings does not differentiate modalities in university. We are not sure that this is the best way to measure quality of universities by modality, but let's see and explore how it works. I wanted to mention that to take a look on that. Then we will see how course learning and assessment moments are important from a quality perspective. So first of all, let's start thinking that the role of teachers, of us as teachers, and as the rankings were highlighting, the importance of having this responsibility towards our own practices and towards research and advancing of knowledge. This is more or less the main mandate we have as teachers in universities. Not all universities are research focused, but then there's usually a balance between teaching and research, and put the efforts and the focus more on teaching and others more on research. But what's important here to highlight in terms of how to embark in quality improvement of our courses is both applying research results, using evidence-informed course design and teaching, and it's a very demanding enterprise. But for example, if you use this framework that we were mentioning, for example, like quality matter, they are based on evidence coming from research. So we can have this big job already done for us in a certain way. And the other is investigating our own practice and approaching that as a design science, our teachings, inquiring that. This is an approach that is proposed and very well written in a book of Diana Lorilar as Teaching as a Design Science, that I wanted to keep that definition. I think it defines very well. The intention here is to look at our practice under the lens of inquiry and questioning what we are doing to improve what we are doing. And then you can apply all kind of methodologies. More suitable for that can be design-based research, action research, or mixed methods. But you can use the one that you feel more comfortable with. And also adopt this reflective practitioner approach, where data I collect helps me reflect and take decisions regarding improvement. So following with this idea of encountering in our practice, this chapter from Hamlin and Williams on about the assuring quality in design education from the Handbook of Design Education, fourth edition of 2028, highlights the importance of approaching and conducting assessment of our courses. Maite was mentioning before, like for example, implementing the Kirkpatrick model for that, but we have to think about that it's important to apply formative approaches and summative approaches. Formative, that is about quality assurance and enhancement, refers to conducting assessment during the development phase to improve it before the course is implemented, or summative, conducted after the course or program is fully developed and implemented, often is done by ourselves, that I encourage a lot, but also for external evaluators. That can be not only external necessarily to our institution, but can be our peers. So the idea is to focus on course design. We can focus on online teaching as two important dimensions because we want to evaluate how our course is working and how we are performing also as teachers, or the entire online program. I'm having a delay with the next presentation slide. Probably Alberto? Yes. Let me check. Cross check. Yes, we're right. So just a practical example based on what we've been exposing before, to ensure a strong foundation, aligning course elements with quality standard. For example, use quality matter rubrics adapted to your, for example, your specific needs, to check that learning objectives, assessment, and materials meet the benchmarks. What is the benchmark that coming, for example, in this case, from research? Incorporating inclusivity and accessibility design, the universal design for learning. I did a presentation that part of a presentation yesterday was focused on that, on how to apply the TPAC model in our design approach using principles of universal design, and engaging colleagues for feedback to improve our course before implementation, like the peer review I was mentioning before. I encourage a lot this creation of this community where we help the others and they help us, and we learn a lot by evaluating and assessing for improvement, not to give a mark to our colleagues or criticize it. No, the idea is to improve our courses. Embarking in that kind of task is like similar to what we ask our students when we implement peer assessment or peer feedback approaches in our courses. We learn a lot by doing this feedback, not only by receiving feedback. And throughout the course delivery, we were talking a lot yesterday and this morning about learning analytics, for example, how to monitor our project, to do what we call learning design on the fly, to take decisions while the course is going on. So to take decisions to help our students to reach the learning hours better. So monitoring is collecting regular feedback from a student that can be done, as I said, through analytics or via surveys or discussion forums, with thinking about also in terms of satisfaction, but also of learning. Use analytics to track engagement, identify, hold check-ins to pulse checks, how you say, during the course to assess teaching effectiveness and learner progress. So with this fact, we think about adaptation can be done. We encourage that also through the course delivery. Usually course delivery, if not a short, very short course, we can think about a semester or even a year in some cases. So is a good approach of quality. And we have the tool to do with that. And after implementation, as I was saying, to assess outcomes and for future improvement of our course, key strategies are like conducting qualitative and quantitative reviews aligned with established framework that we decided and adapted probably, established framework, adapted established frameworks, compare performance data against benchmark, how are you doing regarding what is said to be good quality, share the result with the stakeholders to foster collaboration, as was mentioning before, and transparency, and document. And this is something that we do not usually do. Document the findings. You did it in a rigorous way, approaching that as an inquiry activity, not only a reflective one I was mentioning at the beginning. You can document this finding in a more rigorous way and publish it and share it with us, that we can learn from that. So document your findings for institutional use and broaden share of best practices in journals, conferences. This is a way to establish discussion with a broader audience. Conclusions. Quality is a continuous process. I was mentioning just before, is about running an assessment during the design, throughout the delivery, and after the implementation, fulfilling this cycle, virtual cycle. Use tools like Quality Matters, online learning consortium, eExcellent, or others to guide and enhance the process. Just adopting this framework and adapting them. Design with a purpose, ensure that learning outcomes, assessment, materials are aligned. This is the idea of constructing alignment is very strong and very explicit in quality matter, for example. Also thinking about universal design for learning principles to guarantee inclusivity and accessibility. Monitor during delivery, gather real-time feedback. We are lucky today. We have learning analytics to our support to adapt and improve and maintain student engagement through proactive adjustment that can be done with the intervention of the teacher, that can be more or less pre-programmed through adapted learning platforms that execute rules and to customize content and activities for students and evaluate after implementation. Use the data that way we collect to assess the outcomes and benchmark with other standards. Share your findings, collaborate, discuss, and improve. This is an ongoing activity. This is not a one moment activity. That is something that we have to adopt as a culture. I was mentioning Maite at the very beginning, a culture of quality and embedded into our own practices. So thank you very much, and it's time now for the questions and answers.
Thank you, Marcelo. So we are going to start answering some of your questions. First of all, there was one question that was talking about the difficulty challenge of motivating teachers to use all these new technologies and how can we do it. So thank you for the question, Linda. It's an excellent point because motivating teachers to adopt these new technologies is a significant challenge. It's not just about providing the tools, but as we have been saying all these days, it's about fostering this mindset shift and creating a supportive environment for them to succeed. So how can we do it effectively? First, you need to demonstrate the clear and practical benefits. So teachers often, it's true that they respond well to seeing real world examples of success as our students as well. So we should show them how technology can improve student learning outcomes, increase their engagement, and even save time in certain tasks. So, for example, you could organize demonstration of these best practices from peers or success stories that can inspire confidence to teachers and show that it works in similar contexts. Second, another thing that we could do is the practical training, which is crucial, and it's something that we have been talking about in all the sections of these webinars. Teachers need to experience the tools in action applied directly to their discipline. So this makes the learning process relevant and meaningful. If they see how a tool can address their specific challenges, they are more likely to embrace it. Third, we could talk about building this community, which will be essential, creating communities of practice where teachers, both the experts and the beginners, can share these experiences, these tips, these challenges, and fostering like this monitoring culture. And we call introduce this peer-to-peer learning that can be increasingly empowering. So at our institution, for example, we also encourage collaboration through workshops, through forums, through seminars. You could also provide dedicated support systems. Instructional designers, IT support units, and clear guidance are critical. At Open University of Catalonia, at UOC, for instance, we have a dedicated unit just for this, which is called eLink, that supports educators in integrating technology effectively into their teaching. And this type of support removes barriers and gives teachers confidence. And finally, it's true that we have to incentivize and recognize these teachers' efforts. This could be through grants for innovative teaching projects or through awards or even more opportunities for professional development, like mobility programs to visit institutions or other examples. So this kind of recognition is a powerful motivator and sends a message to the teachers that these efforts are valued. So in summary, we could say it's a combination of showcasing practical benefits, offering tailored training, fostering collaboration, ensuring a robust support, and celebrating innovation. This multiple approach not only motivates teachers, but also empower them to feel confident and capable to use these new technologies. Another question that we have received today is how can we convince teachers who think they could be replaced by technology and machines and, and teachers that they think they will lose their role in the future. So thank you for the question. This is a common concern among educators and an important one to address. So we are going to share some thoughts on this. First, it's really crucial to emphasize that the human-centered role of teachers is important. So technology, it's true that can assist in many ways, but it cannot replace the emotional support or mentorship and personalized guidance that teachers provide. These are uniquely human skills, understanding students' emotions, fostering motivation, helping students navigate complex learning challenges and tasks that machines simply cannot replicate at the same level. So second, we need to shift the perspective on technology. Rather than viewing it as a threat, teachers should see it as an assistant. As I was saying yesterday, they should see it as a tool to make their work more effective, efficient, and impactful. The real challenge is to identify the added value to teachers bring. Things technology cannot do as well, such as tailoring feedback or addressing unique student needs or fostering critical thinking. These are things that technology cannot do. Another thing is to reinforce this by using evidences from research. Studies consistently show that when technology is used to support rather than replace teaching, it enhances learning outcomes. So sharing this data, such as comparison between teacher-led and fully automated approaches, I think can help shift mindsets. Also, we can redefine teachers' roles, which is essential in this evolving landscape in where we are now. Teachers, it's true that are no longer just providers of content, but rather are these designers of learning experiences, facilitators, and mentors, and their expertise lies in guiding students to apply knowledge in real-world contexts, encouraging deeper inquiry, solving complex problems. And this is where technology can assist by automating routine tasks or by providing scalable resources, while us teachers focus on just the higher order skills. And finally, I think it's important to acknowledge both affordance and the limitations of technology. While it's true that we have been seeing these days that it offers incredible opportunities, it's true that it has clear boundaries. So reminding teachers that technology complements their role, not competes with it, can help alleviate these fears and foster a positive outlook. So I think in summary, we need to reframe this kind of conversation with our teachers. And we have to say technology doesn't replace teachers, it amplifies their impact. And by leveraging its strengths, I think our educators or our self-educators can focus on what we do the best, inspiring, mentoring, guiding our students toward the success. Another question that we have received today, it was about how did we go about on choosing and prioritizing these 6 criteria for evaluating the quality of online learning I was talking about. Thank you for your question, Asmore. I didn't have much time, so I had to focus on a few key criteria to give you an idea of what I was talking about. And choosing and prioritizing these criteria, it was like a combination of research, practical experience, and alignment with the established quality assurance framework. So first, I began by examining widely recognized frameworks such as Quality Matters, Commonwealth of Learning Toolkit, and the IAT to Excellence Kit. And these frameworks emphasize these core aspects of quality online or in online learning, such as satisfaction, learning outcomes, and accessibility that I was talking about. So these serve as a foundation for identifying this key dimension to focus on. Also, it's true that I prioritize the criteria that were directly relevant to both learners and educators. So I think these are the primary beneficiaries of online learning. So for instance, student and teacher satisfaction, I think it's crucial for engagement and long-term success. And similarly, happen with applicability of learning. No, I think that it ensures that what is taught has a tangible impact in real-world scenarios, and this is why I chose it. The Kirkpatrick model guides us to focus on areas that evaluate the reaction, satisfaction, the learning effectiveness, the behavior, the results. So this comprehensive approach ensures that the selected criteria are not only theoretical, but also actionable and measurable. And I also consider criteria that reflect the unique challenges of online learning environments. For example, the criteria about accessibility, I think is not negotiable because it ensures the inclusivity and the equal opportunities for all learners, regardless of their circumstances. And this is why I chose it. And finally, all these 6 criteria were chosen to align with this culture of continuous improvement I was talking about. By measuring these dimensions, institution, I think that can not only adhere to quality standards, but also identify these areas for growth and for innovation over time. So in summary, these 6 criteria were chosen because they are comprehensive and rooted in the research. They are relevant to stakeholders, and I think they are aligned with practical and theoretical frameworks. So I think that altogether, they are an example that provide a robust foundation for evaluating and enhancing the quality in online learning. And then we have another question, which was about the course design. We have somebody who said, hi, I'm a teacher and I want to become a course designer. Where do I start? And that's a great question, Anastasia. In our institution, in the Open University of Catalonia, WOC, for example, we offer micro-credentials, postgraduate courses, and we also have a master program to train teachers to become instructional designers. So you may want to explore if there are similar programs available in your country or region, perhaps in your own language. I think it's important to look for programs that provide this strong foundation in both pedagogy, but also in the use of educational technology, as well as hands-on experience with course design. So about that, now I would like to pass the word to Marcelo Maina, which is the director of our master's program that I mentioned in course design. So Marcelo, maybe you want to add something about this?
Thank you, Maite. Yes, of course. The idea is training. So we have a master that is very popular. Think about around 600 students, new students per year, distributed. We have 2 beginnings, let's say, of during the year. So this is very flexible in terms of the student who wants to start in February or to want to start in September. The program is a master level program. It's dedicated to that, and most of the subjects we've been discussing and themes these days are included in that. We have a different branch. It depends on what is you are focusing on learning design. You can focus on digital online learning. You can focus also in the digital transformation approach. And it's a professionalization master with a branch also in research. So I think this is the best way to do it through training. Let me focus on some other additional questions. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare them, so we will improvise a little bit. But there was one regarding our experience in Spanish University, and I think it refers how do we implement these quality approaches. Maite was already explaining a little bit of that, advance a little bit the answer. I could put a little advance a little bit more this answer. We have, for example, as you know, quality agencies that are focused on monitoring quality assurance processes. And every 4 years, depends on the program, we have to revalidate our program. But in the meantime, our own institution has its own quality internal procedures. For example, I'm director of a master. Every year, what we develop is a report on quality based on these standards that are defined by the quality agencies and internal standards that we consider also important for us in our fully online modality. So the idea is that there are different actions into a strategy of how to approach quality from the quality improvement approach. The idea is that, for example, we use a satisfaction questionnaire from our students and the live experience of our tutors in discussions. We are a team of teachers in a course, and then we embark in discussions at the end of the semester, at the end of the course, and we use this data that we collect from satisfaction from our students, but also based on how reflect on what things went well or didn't went well during the process. We have a document that we update during the semester or by the end before the meeting. So it's a way to discuss on these topics that are important for us. And lately we have incorporated learning analytics more intensively in our institution. I was presenting before about the dashboards we have customized to each profile. So for teacher profile, we have this dashboard that presents information. And in this analysis of data, together with discussion, that this is very important, based on these guided standards and indicators, we move towards a more quality enhancement approach that is more regular, that is done each semester and each year more formally, and this fits the more accreditation approach regarding external evaluators and agencies. So this like a virtual cycle that goes from the bottom to the top, if you want. Everything is connected because we are respecting a standard. Of course, when you go to formal accreditation, we have to consider a lot of other indicators that are not exactly related specifically to the teaching and learning, but it's connected because it's one big dimension, teaching and learning and course quality within the external evaluation of our programs. I think I have more or less discussed that. There's another one on how to evaluate the quality of online course beside the classical in-person. I think I just advanced a little bit. That is about the satisfaction service online. How to see how our course is working is using, for example, collecting data not at the end, but during the process. If you use, for example, just quizzes, can be a good measure to see how they are understanding. Quizzes for self-evaluation, and then you will have all this data available, and you can understand what is working or not. This will enhance the quality of your course because you will take decisions based on that. Using collaborative activities like debates, where the student can support themselves in more engaging activities and participate in that. Probably also collected data through tutoring or organizing a specific online sessions regarding key aspect of your course. And I think feedback, as presented in yesterday, as an ongoing dialogue with the students, is also a way to collect information and understand what is happening in order to improve quality. I would say it's very interconnected, as you see, quality design and teaching with quality measures and improvement. I think we explained that in concrete ways. So it's not something additional I have to do, it's something that is embedded in our practice. And I'm checking if there are unanswered questions, the one that are shared with us here. Maite, I don't think so. We have more or less covered.
We have another one.
Yes, okay.
Somebody asked about if should we not address the relational dimension in the Educational Act to to complete the desire to improve acquisitions. I don't know if I understand properly these questions. It may be related to the fact that how can we ensure that teachers want to change or want to improve their quality teaching and learning processes. And if it's that, I think that that's an excellent point, Osin. So to ensure that teachers are generally motivated to engage in these improvement processes that we have been talking about with Marcelo and contribute to this evaluation of quality, I think it's crucial to address the relational dimension with this educational act. So teachers need to feel a sense of purpose and value in the work they do every day, and this is often something that comes from an environment of trust, of collaboration, and of shared goals. So I think it has a relation with the culture of quality. Building a culture of quality within institutions, I think that goes beyond the implementation of new policies or standards. I think it involves fostering an environment where teachers are supported in their professional development and feel empowered to take this active role in the process of quality enhancement, as I was saying before when I was answering another question. So when teachers see that their efforts are recognized and that they can make a tangible impact on student outcomes, I think is when they are more likely to be motivated to adopt new practices and continuously improve. And why one important aspect is providing teachers with opportunities of collaborating with peers, as I was saying before, no, this peer learning, this relational aspect that creates this sense of community and shared responsibility for quality. And it's also essential that these teachers have the proper resources, as I was saying before, the proper training, leadership support to effectively contribute to these processes. We were talking before about the center that we have here in work, which is called eLink. And in addition, I think teachers need to see the value of engaging in these improvement processes, not just for their professional growth, but also for the benefit for their students and for the institution as a whole. When teachers are given the autonomy to innovate, to reflect on their practices, to make adjustments based on the evidence and feedback, I think is when they become more invested in the continuous improvement cycle. So to answer your question, Osin, I will say that we have to ensure that teachers are truly committed to improving and evaluating quality by requiring or by creating a relational framework that emphasizes mutual respect, professional development, and this meaningful impact of their work on both the institution and the students.
The question also points to the idea of these webinars of way of embarking in discussion. I hope so. This is our main aim, probably, with the guidebook and the webinars, is to give you some food for thought, some tools, and some references that you could curate it, and you can embark in that in discussion within your institution. Don't do it alone, because it's a big enterprise. You cannot reach a big objective if you're doing it alone. Just do it with others. Do it with a good leadership of your institution, the participation of your colleagues, and also introduce the students in the discussion, because they have a word to say. Let's see. They are writing us some other probably question. They are completing the question. Some of them are too short, so it's difficult to actually catch the meaning of the question. If it's this question related to the follow-up of this seminar, we hope, okay, the idea was, as we mentioned in the very beginning, to give you a big overview with some deep dives into some aspects of the digital transformation of higher education. And of course, now there are specific training that you can develop, you can participate regarding each one of these aspects. So it can be the basis for a full professional development, teacher development program within your institutions, either providing themselves, inviting others. So the idea is that one also. I think we have reached the limit of our time. So we right now will follow with a short final remarks. Stay with us because we are wrapping up the 2 days now. We will do it short. I know we are all a little bit already tired because being online for many hours is difficult. So we will start right now with the final remarks. And thank you for staying a little bit more.